a hint. The other two are the Hall of Fame, which the Hall of Fame is at the Houlihan Room and also at the Ganon's at the Ganon if you fall. So those ones we're not going to really too care about, but we might see some runners read the telepathic tiles, and they will give us some hints. The way the current logic works right now is that 5 locations that are out of the way is the way it's worded. So that would be stuff like the left side of Swamp, I would think the cutscene in Mire, I think. I'm not 100% on that one. Ice Rod Cave, the Pyramid Fairy, stuff that's going to basically take a while to get to. Well, we will get a hint for what's behind there. However, the hint itself may be vague, could be something unique, or it could just outright tell us what it is.
Well, the race has already started. We're underway. Uncle giving us a little bit of love and finding bombs galore from Uncle and the adjoining chest. We have a total of 13 bombs, but because there are no bomb capacity upgrades or arrow capacity upgrades in the normal item pool anymore, that will cap out at 10. That's all you're getting.
Yep, that is correct. That is another change. You can still purchase them. They were at their vanilla location at the Waterfall of Wishing.
The capitalist fairy.
Yes. Actually, I'm sorry. It's not the waterfall. It's the Hylia Wishing Well.
Yeah, middle of the lake. If you go into that lake instead of going into the portal to go to Ice Palace, you can purchase some upgrades. But capitalism is a heartless thing, and you have to pay her. She's in on the scam along with King Zora, so you have to watch out for that one.
Yep. Well, we found the key early. We knew we would find one, so.
Yes, you definitely. By the time you get to the chest in the dark room, if you haven't found the small key will be in that chest. It's necessary in order to progress through the dark rooms and out to the back of the escape sequence. It's also worth noting as well, you don't necessarily get a lamp during the escape sequence, but you do get the grace of having the aura of the lamp through the dark rooms in the escape. But after that, you're on your own. If you choose to go into a dark room without the lamp after that point, you could get lost.
Oh, well, that's going to be useful. Half magic.
Yeah, half magic. Really early on. Even before you get some of your weapons that use magic, that's still so beneficial. Now we just have to see what else we get in the front of the escape. See, Walter is just going to bypass the green guard, go straight onto the ball and chain guard, and try and get him out of the way quickly so we can find out what's in the maiden chest with Zelda.
Yep. And, ooh, Quake Medallion.
It's nice to have, because we might still need to go into Mire or Turtle Rock. Unfortunately, can't use it just yet, because you still need a sword. It's the most expensive Bitcoin that you can't use.
Yup. It's also one of the more useful ones, at least. Even if you don't need it, even though if it's not required, it's still useful because it's one of the few items that can get rid of those pesky dead rocks.
Yeah, dead rocks up on Death Mountain. You can't kill them. You can just make them inanimate stone. But with a little bit of magic powder or the Quake Medallion, you can transmogrify them. Good word, by the way. And you turn them into a slime, and you can kill those. So that's how you get your revenge. If they ever get in your way, just warn them, I've got a Quake Medallion. And at that point, they might get out of your way.
Yep. So we do have a couple questions in chat about the sprites that are being used. Yes, we do have Grunkle Stan up on Walter. We have Phoenix Wright for Mekon. Roach is using Pride Link, and it looks like Wesley's using one of the Retro Links. I'm just not 100% certain which one that one is.
So good news about having the bombs early on as well. We did mention that you can get into the back of the escape, but also it will generally increase the speed which you go through the escape sequence because you aren't having to farm for more bombs as heavily. So we are seeing that our runners currently are making significant progress through the escape and might finish a little quicker than would normally be expected. We find Walter has picked up the map in the dark room. That's the only other useless dungeon item that you can find during the escape sequence. So it guarantees that the back of the escape and the sanctuary chest are all useful items in some way. It could be as useful as a single arrow, or it could be, you know, boots, fire rod, hammer, any of the good items. So it's always mixed bag when you go into that room. You think, what sort of luck is the game going to give me today? Is it going to be good, or is it going to be terrible?
Yep. Just noticing Mekon's bomb count. They need to be very careful. They're very low. If they can get the one bomb dream on the one rat with the key, then they'll be fine. Definitely don't want to see them skip the bottom of the escape. Luckily, the bottom of the escape doesn't really have anything. But
no, just a couple of rupees and half a heart container. But of course, our runners won't know that until they go and check it out for themselves. So again, the benefit of being a caster is the knowledge of what lots of people are doing all at once.
Yep. That's just one of those nagging things. It's like, if you don't have bombs and you get to this point, it's like, when do I come back? Is there something there? It's just one of the worst feelings.
Oh, we get the Fisher-Price shield in the Sanctuary chest. Just a tiny piece of cardboard, really. But it deflects some projectiles, so it's not all that useless.
Started our overworld checks.
Some really good times coming out of the escape, though. All less than 7 minutes, which is the typical expected time. So it's definitely been a quick escape with that 10 bomb drop.
Hey!
And speaking of bombs, more bombs from Roach. He pulls the pull tree outside the entrance to Death Mountain, and always welcome to get more bomb drops. They are especially useful before you head into Kakariko Village.
And big 20s from the bush crab. That solves your money issue.
Yep.
Enough to pay the bottle vendor.
Cedar's being extremely generous at the start, so that has to beg the question, what are you trying to do to this game? Why are you being this generous so early on?
Well, unfortunately, without knowing what currently crystals and pendants are available and with the current item set, and seeing that Aghanim currently is not required with the big 50 on the Lumberjack ledge, who knows?
We see Walter headed straight into Blind's house. He's already picked up the power gloves, so lifting things... Yeah.
Well, that is one of the pieces of the puzzle of the Dark World. We are missing 2 others. We are either missing the second glove or the hammer, and we're also missing the Moon Pearl.
Picking up a big hundo at the back as well, I believe that was. So money is not an issue at this early stage of the game. Our players may actually be considering how much money do we save here and see whether we could get to Zora as quickly as possible, because with the grey gloves, that is in logic.
Yes, it is. However, I find that most people will probably wait until they either get the Moon Pearl or the Flippers to execute the fake Flipper glitch in order to get the Waterfall of Wishing.
Yes, it's definitely one of the things you have to consider. Routing choice. King Zora's domain is well out of the way, right in the top corner of the map. So getting there, it's a gamble if you're going to go there before you have all the pieces to commit to the fake flippers into Walk on Water, which enables you to get into the Well of Wishing and get those 2 items from there.
Yep. And so far, it doesn't look like there's much in Kakariko, unfortunately, this seed.
No, just a lot of money, but not much else in the way of progression besides the gloves.
Yeah, maybe the back of the bar will have something.
Have something on tap. A single rupee. You can't drink that. That's useless.
Wait, no, he just took the money from the tip jar.
How dare you? We have rules against that in our country now. Well, there goes cross products pay for the night.
Yep. So we did have a switch up on the thing. Oh, that was a rod.
I couldn't quite see which
I
flavor
think
of
that was
rod
the
it was.
fire rod.
I think it was too. I couldn't quite see what flavor of rod it was because he left so quickly. But at least we know that the boots are probably required.
Very likely required.
If we see Turtle Rock as a crystal, then it doesn't matter which rod it is. You're gonna have to find the boots and pick that up at some point. If it's a pendant, though, if it's a fire rod, it's most likely we will need that.
Uh-oh. Walter might need to be careful. He inadvertently has armed the exploration glitch by doing that jump down and save and quit.
I am not familiar with this glitch, I must be honest.
It's a very unique glitch. It'll trigger if he gets hit and does a screen transition, but if he goes into a building, he should be fine. Okay, he will be fine.
So we have Ilminster in the bottom left corner. He's just found the Moon Pearl inside the swamp ruins. So
Ooh.
Moon Pearl inside of what we consider the south coast route. That will prime him so that he will be able to take on the Fate Flippers, and suddenly Zora is now very much in that sort of path. If they get enough rupees before they have to get up that way, we might be able to see a very early Zora check.
7 green pendant and red pendant. So Desert is green, and Hera was a pendant. So
it's interesting to see how many crystals that you could get in the light world as well. Sometimes you get lucky, you get all 3 are crystals, and sometimes you think, oh, Tower of Hera's a pendant. So when am I going to have to go up there and get the items?
Yep. And so with that being the case, with only 1 pendant remaining in the Dark World, that fire rod is 100% required. So we will be hunting for those boots. Another thing with the version 30 hint system is that the boots are in the hint pool. We will have 1 hint specifically that relates to the boots. However, the hint itself might not tell us directly it's boots. It could say unique item, which is boots are a unique item. So hopefully we will see some sort of a hint check, and hopefully it'll just tell us outright where the boots are.
That would definitely be the best case. I mean, we know that Desert Palace is the green pendant, but sometimes you have to go in there for the items anyway, and you just feel, oh, I really wish I had boots coming in here. Well, for most dungeons even. Going into any dungeon with boots just accelerates your progress through most of them.
Yep. Best one, in my opinion, I think, is Eastern, because you can just dash through those all those enemies at the front and just hit the switch.
Yeah. Lots of long vertical or horizontal passages you could just charge.
Speaking of out of the way locations, oh, we got the Hammer and Ice Rod Cave. That is Dark World access. 13 and a half minutes in.
Yep, Grey Gloves, Moon Pearl, Hammer. That's everything outside of Death Mountain East, Death Mountain Dark World. So we may see. Some people may still head to Eastern Palace and Sahasrara first and see whether those items are going to be useful, but it looks like actually Elminster and Walter are both headed to the Dark World and Hype Cave, and we may see that map check.
Yep, and Roach is actually taking care of Agina. If this holds something, this could be an advantage. Unfortunately, it's just a heart container. Looks like we got Thieves Town and Turtle Rock as our 5 and 6 crystals, and Swamp Palace.
Ah. I mean, it's... Oh my goodness, hello. Boots at Hype Cave.
Well, there's the fire rod right there, then.
And a lot of money and some bombs, but boots at the start of the Hype Cave, that just sells it for me. That makes that cave worth.
That's pretty hype.
Getting boots less than 15 minutes into a seed, it makes you feel so good, because you haven't even gone into any of the dungeons yet. And suddenly you're dashing all over the place, and it's wonderful. So we see Elminster with a quick save and quit, and he's going straight back to the library. He is picking up that fire rod.
Smart move. He might actually have a plan here.
Yeah, he's in the right place to head to Village of Outcasts with a fire rod, and he may be lucky and fire the boots. The sword here. If he finds the sword as well, that means Skull Woods is definitely completable.
Yep. That's what I was thinking, was Skull Woods. Mikon has the 500 rupees required for Zora. Executes fake flippers to get up to this area. So he has to exit the waterfall and re-enter for some weird logic reason.
The best explanation for the walk on water I love is basically you fake flippered, you swim into the waterfall, that means you're swimming on land, which clearly means you must be walking on water. You swim on land, you walk on water. You just reverse the logic of how physics work. And he finds the ice rod on Zora Ledge.
Oh, that's not good.
That's big information. It tells us that both the logic requires us to have flippers, but also this is huge advantage of knowledge, knowing that Turtle Rock is a red crystal and that ice rod is required. It must be found. Mikad has a huge advantage now, knowing where that is.
Yep.
Ice rod has, I think it's the most unpredictability out of any of the major items in this game.
Yep, it is. Other than the silver arrows are the other big one.
That's true.
Silver arrows are literally the item that can be anywhere. Ice rod can be almost anywhere.
Yeah, there are very few locations that cannot be, like on Trinex itself, obviously, and then depending on whether it's pendant or crystal. If it's crystal, then it can't be Ganon's tower for obvious reasons. If it's a pendant, then it can't be
on pedestal.
Pedestal, and that's it. Nope. There are very few locations it can't be, but that knowledge is going to be big. And we actually see Mika now headed over to the Hype Cave, so that's going to be boots. It's going to be boots for Roach as well. So all of our runners are now going to be dashing about the place. And being quite dashing whilst they're doing it as well.
Oh, here's another out of the way. Here's another out of the way location. Oh, never mind. He's going straight into the village. I thought Elminster would check the bumper cave. That's a check I usually like to try to do early, just to see if I need it.
Yeah, sometimes it's worth, but if you feel that you don't have anything that promotes going there, like the cape, it's best just leaving it until later and hoping for the best. We live in hope. You have a divergence now. Roach is headed up through the area by the pyramid. Elminster now continuing.
Yeah, Roach actually likes to get the pyramid and catfish check out of the way fast. It's out of the way, and if you already have the access to it, get it done. That's his lot. That's his mindset.
That makes sense. Catfish is one of those where it's so out of the way, sometimes you can even forget that you haven't been there yet. And when he's holding that, go mode ether medallion to get into Mire, or, sometimes you forget that he's there and then you kick yourself afterwards. And you have the boots to do it now.
Alright. And we are going into... That looked like that was an intentional death there. Because he was going in with one heart.
Yeah.
But we are going into Thieves Town.
Big key, the first chest is always nice. It must be in the first 4, so everything to play for in the remaining 3 chests here.
Yep. And the good news is they have the hammer, so in the worst case scenario, they can still full clear it.
It looks like people are converging on this area. Except for Roach, who is now going to check Catfish and see if that's going to be valuable today. And our survey says... It's heart container.
Well, health's pretty good. So we're at 7 hearts green mail. That's not bad.
Yeah,
he's probably happy.
Acceptable, seeing as no one has found any armor upgrades, and health becomes important the deeper into the late dungeons you go. So beyond Thieves Town, Ice Palace Mire, Turtle Rock, and the tower itself, everything in there, they hurt. Like 3, 4 or more hearts of damage per hit. So, yeah, heart containers could be increasingly relevant the longer we go into this seed without finding armor. Big money at the Bonk Rocks, 300
Yup.
rupees. And we see a small divergence. Mikan is going into the Skull Woods and checking this area with the hammer. Even though there's no sword, it might as well check for the items. Walter and Elminster are headed into the back now. Are headed towards the back of Thieves Town, and it's definitely the dungeon that everyone can complete. As soon as you have Dark World access, you have some way of completing this dungeon.
Oh, I have to laugh at that. That's the first I've seen it. The buddy spread up from a Grunkle stand, and it fits so well. Oh no!
Whoops. It's okay. He'll just take a nap and he'll get back up again.
Clip by the horse.
Now, Mr. has to be careful. He's having a couple of problems with the grobber grabbers there. And 2 hearts with green armor. I think that's death outright if you get hit by one of those.
It's a 2-heart. So there's one of the first telepathic tiles. However, that one's a little out of the way considering you gotta hit a crystal switch. Is he doing it? He's doing it! Alright, we're gonna see a hint check here. Let's see what we get. First hint. We have a shield in Ganon's tower. Good to know.
Well, it could be useful if you find it early on and you get your mirror shield. Then all the lasers upstairs, you don't care about them too much. But
right, but what that tells us is that the laser bridge will require either the cape or the cane of Burna. So we know one of those items is going to be showing up.
Yeah. It is possible to get those chests without, but in the logic, it does require you have some sort of invincibility item. That could be interesting though, because we did say before we didn't check the bumper cave, but if that item is the cape, then we could see another imported item up on that cliff edge.
That's a possibility.
Oh, small key at the maiden chest. So Elminster is swapping over to the hammer to check what's in the big chest at Turtle Rock. At Turtle Rock? Thieves Town. The other one which begins with a T.
I was going to say, we have pretty much the Turtle Rock care package.
And there we find the flippers. So that ice rod is now acceptable.
Oh boy. We are now a Cane of Samaria and a Golden Glove potentially away from Turtle Rock. And this is early. That
Without
does not fill me.
sword.
Oh, and a sword. And a sword. That does not fill me with confidence, unfortunately.
Even with a single sword, I would not fill me with confidence. I like to go into Turtle Rock at least having tempered, because that fighting with Trinex, it's just so bad swapping between the fire rod or the ice rod and the hammer to deal damage. That's painful.
Yeah, it is.
The only grace they have, really, is that they have half magic doing it. And even then, that still wouldn't leave me with much confidence. Elminster having a little bit of trouble with the blind fight. He has 1 heart left. If he gets hit by anything in this room, he will die. This is a dance of death, and he's managing to... Oh, goodness.
Link to the Past Toho edition, and he gets through it.
We do have a lot of experienced runners in this, and it is... You can clearly see the skill on display when you're able to do a dance like that and come out on top.
And that dance was worth it. He got a mirror for his trouble.
The 2 most useful items in this game for movement are the flute and the mirror, and the mirror just adds so much versatility. It allows you to hop in between the 2 worlds without caring, really. You have to sort of plan your route if you don't have the mirror and you enter the Dark World, but with this, it just makes things so much easier. fewer save and quits and just
All right.
nice everything. It makes your day when you find that item.
Yep, just a big 20 up on the bumper cave, so magic cape currently not needed. Potentially logically required for spike cave, though. And Elminster, because he hasn't done the Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb, or Upper Graveyard Ledge because he didn't have the mirror, can now get all three in one fell swoop.
Yeah. See Walter taking a death in Thieves Town, and he is going to save and quit from that point, and instead just head over to the eastern side, I think. Oh no, he has flippers, so he's just going to jump in the lake. He's going to do lake stuff.
The inferior boomerang up on Lake Hylia. I don't think we'll be seeing that grabbed.
No. The boomerangs are never required. They're just handy to have in some cases, and
yeah, there's very good mobility in Ganon's Tower if you have the blue one. The red one's a little bit harder to wield.
It's interesting because I found that the opposite way round, and I don't know why. And I know it introduces lag to the game, but sometimes you just need to throw the boomerang further. And
well, there's the second shield.
He was using it as a tent against the rain, and now we just stolen it. He doesn't need shelter from the wind or the...
Well, he's under the bridge. He should be fine.
Yeah, he'd be fine.
Or
at least we can now repel fireballs. That is important. Probably.
Oh, Walther might actually be happy about that because it's like, hey, that's gonna make blind a little easier.
Yeah, and now he's going to find out where the ice rod is, and he has the money to do Zora as well. So all of this in one go. I'm fairly sure he's happy that he found flippers before, unfortunately, dying to blind. He's just take that water off a duck's back and then decide, yeah, I'll go and finish that later when I can be bothered.
So, did you notice what was in the King's Tomb?
I may have missed that one.
We have almost Turtle Rock access. We just have the cane.
Oh, goody. The cane is incredibly useful. It gives us Mire and Turtle Rock complete ability, but when you see the items you have and then go, oh, I know where the ice rod is too. I'm just a sword away from Turtle Rock. Well, sword and gloves. Oh, that's oh dear.
Oh boy.
Well, we did say early on the game is being incredibly nice to us. Wonder what it has in store. Well, there we go. Early Turtle Rock without a sword.
Alright, I'm just trying to think where we can go now. Part of me actually... This is going to sound weird. Part of me would want to go to Swamp Palace right now. I'm just having a feeling there is something in Swamp Palace, because that's where all the crumbs are leading right now.
That is true. We do have the hammer, we have the flippers, and we have the mirror. So those are access requirements immediately for the first half, if you like, of the Swamp Palace. Obviously, you can't get through to the back because we don't have the hook shot. Oh my goodness.
That is scary. We are officially one item away from being able to get up to Turtle Rock now. We don't technically have Death Mountain access yet. That doesn't mean they can't do the dark rooms, but we are still needing a lamp or a flute for logical access. However, I think his Elminster... Nope, never mind. I thought he was going to dart right over to the cave.
Yeah. But with the mirror, we know where that is. And with the hammer, that gives us logical access, once we find the lamp or the flute, to all of Death Mountain in the light world. As soon as we find the golden gloves, that gives us the logical access to the dark side as well. And then you can check what the medallion requirement to get into Turtle Rock is. And if it is Quake, and you have a sword, that means you can get in there. And
if it's Quake, a lot of these runners are going to die a little bit on the inside. Because they're just going to go, oh no.
A little bit?
Well, I say a little bit because these guys are all skilled.
Yes, but even skilled runners, when they see the logic say, sorry, you're going to have to go to Turtle Rock right now if you want to complete this, is like, why do you do this to me, game?
And Elminster is breaking logic and doing the Dark Cave Ascent.
Yeah, without a sword, without any nice item like the boomerang or the hook shot, he's actually opting for the red cane and pushing the block along the floor because that's your visual marker. And he manages to do it. That's
Actually, I
impressive.
think he was picking it up, but yeah, same logic applies.
It's useful for the detection if you push it along the floor, governing where that pit is. There is one pitfall in the second half of that climb.
Yeah,
if you figure out where,
luckily,
you'll be fine.
Yeah, luckily it's right at the start, so.
Yeah, once you navigate past that one, you just need some sort of idea where you are in the cave and don't get hit by the keys too hard.
All right. Yeah, Walter having a very easy time with blind now with blue mail and a sword.
Yeah, Roach not having that opportunity with the armor or the sword has some difficulty, takes a death to blind, and is actually going to leave now and complete the rest of these strats. So the digging game we might see.
Ooh, we found our first bottle and another hint. Let's see what we get. Some bombs are locked behind a hammer, so we got loads of a junk item. So. So the unfortunate thing is with the clue behind a hammer, that really kind of means there's a lot of places that could be, unfortunately.
Yeah, it doesn't really narrow down the available locations there.
Yeah, because that means bombs could be on Helmasaur King, because Helmasaur King is locked by the hammer. Bombs could be in Swamp Palace beyond the first two chests, because that requires the hammer.
Yeah. It could be at the hammer pegs, because
it requires a hammer. It can be anything.
Have you seen how many 20 rupees Mikan just got there?
Wow.
And then elected not to pick any of them up, because 20 rupees...
Mikan's good on money.
It was actually the prize was 20 rupees as well, so deciding, you know what, you can have your money. I don't need this right now. I think he's going to be disappointed, though, because I have a feeling that Stumpy has money as well. Yeah,
yep.
You will take this 20 rupees and you will like it, sir. Walter having a quick dip inside Skullwoods now. I don't think he's found the big key yet, so he's now headed over to the back. And with the sword, this dungeon is now completable. You need the sword to cut away the vines at the third half of Skullwoods. But he does have all the items required, so he's just going to make quick work of this dungeon with the half magic as well as the fire rod.
Yeah. Heart piece on the floating island.
We have boots, so the spiral cave is going to be really quick.
Well, not as quick as you think for Elminster, because unfortunately he doesn't have a sword.
Oh, yes.
It's a little it's faster, but not as fast as it can be.
Walter, the only one who's gone to see Sahasrara and obtain his sage wisdom, and then promptly ignoring it, bombing his house and stealing his armor and sword. Now we see Mikan headed round the back. He's going to go over to Catfish, and he's going to sort that out. Elminster now heading up into the network of Paradox Cave.
I love Paradox Cave because it makes no sense.
Yeah, you clearly fall down a hole and yet move up the mountain. How does that work? They clearly didn't think about physics when they made this game.
We're on a 2.5D plane, so we can't really properly render the 3D effect. We're probably literally going up a hill, even though it looks like we're going down. That's the only way I can think about it. Unfortunately, that mushroom not turning into much.
Now Walter is at the back, and he's going to take on Mothula. opting for hammer strats. May see a fire rod come out to push Mothula away from the wall, but at the moment,
Maybe.
this has been a interesting fight so far. At least 3 hammer hits, so there's not much left health-wise. Making sure that Mothula does not hit any of these spikes, because if you do hit the spikes, that will override the damage which is taken and reduce it to 0. And nice
There we go. Well done.
No extra item on Mothula, but a crystal's a crystal.
Oh boy, we have swamp access for Elminster.
We've
Swamp
had the
complete ability, actually.
Where did we find that? That must have been in Death Mountain then.
It was.
Well, Hookshot makes things nicer for navigating Death Mountain, but you still need gold gloves if you want to get to the Dark World version of it. But yeah, Swamp in Logic with access, completing the whole thing. But with a Hookshot means you can also bypass the left side of Swamp. And that could be useful.
That could be useful, but it could also be detrimental.
That's true. First race I cast was a couple of weeks ago, and we commented then how disastrous that was, because Go Mode was on the left side of Swamp via the flute access to Misery Mire. And everyone
Elminster getting a hint he already has.
Boy. But,
Bombs above the pose. That is referencing the Graveyard Ledge, which is one of the out-of-the-way locations. So
yeah, that's I think some of our runners have already checked that, and oh my goodness, okay. So we still haven't got the bow, but at least we have something to fire when we do find it. Finding silver arrows in the Alu Stoops chest in Swamp.
Oh, Roach getting his sword, showing a little bit of either frustration or happy slash. I don't know which one.
Why not both?
And why not? So unfortunately, Elminster with that hint, he's like, "Thanks, game. I already got that one."
Mikan's
That's like the problem. That is the problem with the hint system.
Head into the Eastern Palace, even without the bow, finding the big key of the first chest. So yeah, we might see some shenanigans there. No lamp still, so possibly navigating the dark room if there is an item at the big key location. Roach doing the same play as well. And we see a big key as well for Elminster, who's navigating Swamp. So big chest out of the way, but is it useful? Heart container.
Health is good.
Yeah, a lot of our runners now navigating and getting the blue armor. Elminster still hasn't visited Sahasrahla, so still swordless, still green armor. So any extra health for him is going to be extremely useful.
Yep, we're going to be seeing Menu Boss Simulator. I missed that hint. I just saw a unique item and I didn't see where it was.
Water switch, I believe that was. So
unique items behind a water switch.
That could be.
I think that's
right
the
now.
dam. I think that's the dam. No, I think that's the dam clue. Because these chests are considered underwater.
Yeah.
So I think that was referencing near a water switch. Yeah, that's the that was the Moon Pearl.
Okay. Elminster finding a shovel. That's unique enough. We'll take that too. Lots of value
shovel
stuff.
went up.
Well, we've already found the mushroom, so why not make the shovel useful instead of the mushroom? We'll have both fetch quests today.
Why not?
See, well, we can't see, but Roach and Mikan are both in the dark room. And I think Mikan actually just decided, no, I've had enough here.
No, Mikan got the big key chest
maybe.
and then noped out. because no bow.
No one has found the bow, so it begs the question whether we found any suggestion where it could be right now, because it could be at one of these out-of-the-way locations. We just haven't found the correct hint yet.
That's a possibility.
Walter is navigating his way through Death Mountain right now, while Elminster having a valiant attempt at a swordless Argus fight. Having to hookshot these little puffballs away from Argus and then hammer them to kill them, because that's the only thing which will damage them beyond the sword.
Yep. There's been worse, but that's not too terrible.
It just gets a little bit dangerous in this next part of the fight, where Argus will just start jumping around and then spinning around the room, and there are more things that can actually damage him, but if you get hit, that's still painful with green armor. That's a pretty good kill.
But 4 fire red shots. The Misery Mire big key and a unique item is fire locked. Oh.
So that's the slow item room in the west wing of Misery Mire. Both of them are going to be fire locked. At least that is some useful information, but it's going to be a slow time once we get to that part of the game.
And Elminster decided to steal Argus's book he was reading.
Yeah. I don't think he would have needed much. I had a feeling that he uses a giant contact lens like the Moon Pearl to help him read, but but then he lost that. He lost it in the wrong world. He left it behind in the dam. You have to think, though, that book is probably going to be incredibly soggy that it's been underwater for this long.
True. Just leave it out. Just leave it out in the sun for a couple days, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Mikan just completing Thieves Town and getting the mirror, so it looks like we're on the way to the graveyard ledge as we speak, and Roach doing the same, completing and obtaining the mirror.
I see we're getting some chat hype for where the bow could be, and somebody has mentioned the pedestal, which is possible.
Why did you have to mention the...
It's possible.
I have the feeling that whenever chat mentions the pedestal, it ends up not being true, and if you just let it sit for a bit, you know, wait until we're about an hour into the scene, and then you bring up the pedestal, then you have more of a chance.
Well, they have to bring up the pedestal because they just found the book.
Yeah,
it gives us the knowledge.
It also gives us access to the Desert Palace. It's a green pendant, so it may be worth doing that just to get an item if Sahasrara has actually got an item of value. But hey, it's a pendant, so yay, pedestal hype.
Yay, ped hype. And actually, that does put all 3 pendant dungeons as clearable. That's even worse.
Oh my goodness. He finds a sword and the golden gloves on the left side of Swamp. This is huge.
Well, that's gonna be a good unique clue if that clue exists.
If it isn't in the pool, or if they don't find the right telepathic tile to get that hint, though, some people may be struggling to find those golden gloves for a significant amount of time if they all decide to opt and skip the left side of the Swamp Palace. But golden gloves and the first sword for Elminster, it'll be Master Sword for everyone else. And with the book, that's straight over to Bombos to read what's on the tablet. Can't obtain it yet. That's just as well. That was only a piece of heart.
We know there's a big 20 here, so let's go ahead and run through. Elminster's not going to do it.
Checking over what Ajedar has first, and then possibly going in and checking what's in Desert Palace.
I question the order, but What do I
Yes.
know? He might have his reasons.
Roach go to check Cave 45 for us, the south of Grove Cave, and it's a big 20.
Looks like Walther has the correct idea.
Yeah.
And you got the hammer dash, alright.
Hammer dashing is so much fun. It makes the clearing of the hammer pegs just... That's such a slow maneuver. If you've got boots and a sword, and you can hammer dash your way, it's just so nice. I like saving time.
Alright. So while we were on the topic of pedestal, we have the bow, potentially bombos, potentially quake, the flute. Could be could be a sword pedestal.
Ether tablet, triple boom, so 3 bombs for that one.
Nothing
So
there.
both Bombos and Ether are useless, but we still haven't had a pedestal, so that's still alive. Don't worry.
It'll happen soon.
Because Elmis has now checked both tablets before checking desert, so
Oh, here we
with
go.
the golden gloves, he's now going over to
Oh
Turtle
no!
Rock.
Oh, is this going to be vanilla? Is it vanilla quake?
Oh dear. This could be devastating.
It is not. It is bombos.
You are safe for right now. But it doesn't mean that you can't find Bombos in the Dark World, because you still have the Hookshot. You have Hookshot Cave and
Hookshot
Bunny Cave to check.
Buddy.
You find the Bombos and you make a sad face, because Turtle Rock then becomes available.
Uh-oh, Blue Cade. That activates Laser Bridge. That also puts Spike Cave in logic.
Yep, just another check. And
Cane
on the
plus
way.
half magic, or Cane plus bottle.
You've got to be thinking at this point, you still haven't found Bombos, but you still need to find it at some point. So, if not now, then when are you going to find it? Oh, Swagnet and 10 arrows in the Bunny Cave. So, yeah, if it's not up here on Death Mountain, then where could it be? Because you still have to find it at some point. There's no negotiating that one.
Yeah, nobody's actually climbed up Tower of Hera. That's the interesting thing. They all went to the basement, and that was it.
We did see that mirror swap just then, but then he figured out, oh, hold on, I've got the blue cane. Let's do this Spike Cave first, and then use the mirror. We can just head on up to Tower of Hera afterwards. Of course, none of this is in logic. Everyone who's been up to the mountain, still no flute, still no lamp, but we won't stop our runners. We love seeing these sort of things.
And the blue boomerang.
Well, at least we got one of the boomerangs. It could be useful, possibly, maybe.
Yeah. So just to clarify what we mean by the logic right now, the mitts are in logic, but Dark Death Mountain is not. Because we still don't have a logical way to get up Death Mountain.
Yeah, everyone who's been to Death Mountain so far must have gone up the place where you save old Grandpa from the middle of the mountain, who gets lost because, ironically, he doesn't have a lamp. We don't have a lamp either, but we know what the layout of the room is. For logical purposes, you still need that lamp, or you need to have the flute to get to the mountain, as we don't have either. All our runners have gone through the dark room, and, well, they just accelerate the process of completing the game. But so far, they still haven't found the lamp or the flute, and they kind of need both. They need the flute to get to Misery Mire. They need the lamp for some of the choice locations that you can find later on, which are ridiculous if you don't have the lamp, like inside of Misery Mire, inside of Turtle Rock. So expect to find them at some point. But,
you know, thinking about this, I think lamp might be in pod. No one's gone there yet.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
Pretty good chance there. We know that the lamp, in its current state, cannot be in desert because we haven't found the flute yet. I'm not gonna say that lamp can't be in desert, but as we know it right now, it can't be. A unique item requires a bomb.
Could that be the big bomb?
That could be the boots key. That could be the boots clue because there was a bomb required to get into Hype Cave.
I'm thinking of the big bomb, the orange bomb. If people decide,
no, there's a specific clue for that one.
Okay, I've not read up these extra clues. I did not realize that this tile management system was in until like about 2 hours ago. So I will definitely need to read up on that. We have a small divergence? No. Roach is headed over to ice as well. Elmist already in deep of it. Mikan doing crazy things. What is going on?
Checking telepathic hint tile. Unique item requires the hook shot. That could be the book on Argus.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember. There could be too many things it could be, but we technically could say that we've already found out that clue. As we see it, as commentators and the viewers.
It's just so difficult because the hook shot gives you so much maneuverability. Sometimes you forget what actually requires hook shot as opposed to just a mere suggestion.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, the Burna hookshot cave. That could have been it too.
Hookshot cave.
Unfortunately, we don't know. As far as we're concerned, though, that clue is technically finished. Some bombs is on your uncle.
On your
Thank
uncle.
You.
I think we can consider that one. Consider that one as already.
I think we might want to report that one. Like, that specific hint should not be in a standard logic, but that's just me. I don't know.
I don't know. I just think it's funny.
We'll bring that up with the devs.
I just think that's funny because it's like, yeah, you remember at the beginning of the game when you did that stuff? Yeah, that happened. Yeah, well, thanks, game. I really needed to be reminded of that. Cool. Blue rupee in the H room.
And another unique item requires the bomb.
Ooh, and a map. So it doesn't look like any sort of value has been found in ice so far. Not really. A couple of choice hints and bloopy, but that's about it. The fire rod is in plain sight as the first telepathic tile in the entrance lobby. Yeah, I think most people have found the fire rod by this point. If you're coming to ice without it, something's gone wrong. Especially if you don't have bomb boss either. I have a feeling though, if people have bomb boss, Ice Palace would not be their first thought, having seen what Turtle Rock is.
But at the same time, they know that Turtle Rock's out of logic, so...
That's true.
So by my count, I think we've gotten 10 of the 15 telepathic tiles.
Oh, big key for Roach, but he's not found the hookshot yet, so he's going to have to do this the vanilla way and just bomb the floor open. People with the hookshot like to do a little skip there, saves time. Because blocks have unique properties. As you're pushing them, they lose all geometry. So if you have an item, you can use the item at the same time.
Yep, we had a lamp sighting, actually.
Oh dear.
Is it
lamp?
ice?
was in Ice Palace. That's cruel.
So now we have fixed, I believe we have now fixed every inconsistency with the logic with that find.
Yes, the two biggest barriers for the logic are the lamp or flute and the flippers. Once you resolve those inconsistencies, everything else just falls back into logic.
Yep, and we were being told that it was in the U room, so.
It's interesting now, though. Most of our runners have come to the same conclusion and seem to be following the same sort of route here. Most of them are in Ice Palace. Walter is now having a trip round Death Mountain in the Dark World to have a poke around. He might actually go into Tower of Hera, which I don't think we've seen yet.
Yeah, we've only seen the basement of Tower of Hera so far.
So he's just about to check Ether and be sorely disappointed with the 3 bombs, but we may see inside the Tower of Hera. And who knows? With the Tower of Hera pendant, we could be one step closer to that pedestal dream. Still not dead yet.
I'm trying to think of the other telepathic tiles we haven't seen yet. I know we have one in Mire, we have one in Hera, which is downstairs. Or upstairs, I'm sorry. And then one in Turtle Rock. That's 3. Aga Tower, that's number 4.
There's a telepathic tile in the basement underneath Ganon, but I'm fairly sure most people won't want to go for that one.
No, that one's a Hall of Fame. That one's a Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
So.
That being said, who knows? People could visit anyway. That's just me being evil and hoping people fall off. So let's just not do that. So got a decent fight for Roach.
Man. We have our Turtle Rock access.
Oh. Yay.
Bombos was in the grove.
Okay. That's oh. Well, good luck, Elminster. Glad it's you and not me who's doing this right now, but yeah, it looks like you just headed straight upstairs. Like,
yeah.
No, there's no avoiding it. It has to be done at some point. So, Turtle Rock, here we go.
Yeah, well, this is one of the more. This is actually the most item dense location aside from Pod, and Pod is not clearable because of Bow. Turtle Rock is clearable, however.
Yeah, and Swamp as well. Swamp has 6 items within itself, but
there's the chest with the lamp on Mikan's side.
Yeah,
that is the lamp. Oh no! Roach ran out of bombs. He is.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's not gonna have a fun time here. Okay, he's good.
Yeah, especially if you're going to try and make a bomb jump and you run out of bombs. There's definitely one you can get in this room with the 2 Stalfos Knights, but you've got to be very precise on the next jump. You've got to get it first try, otherwise... And you have no bombs anymore.
I did not catch the hint at Turtle Rock.
Because Roach is just opting now to ignore the bomb jump, just go through this normally. So,
and that's the 3rd medallion.
Got all 3 of the bitcoins. So we're rich. We're rich. Or something. He's tackling Turtle Rock though. He still only has a white sword. He still hasn't visited Sahasrara, so still no armor upgrade, still no master sword. This is going to be an extremely difficult dungeon, especially when we get to the Chain Chomp room. That is going to be... They pack a punch. It's a good thing we have the blue cane
4
and half
hearts
magic.
of damage, yep.
It's a good thing we have that blue cane. Walter having a quick trip here. He's taking the frog back home. He's turning him into a breadsmith. So we might see what's happening in this area of Hyrule we haven't explored yet.
Yep, those hits going by way too fast. I just saw something requires the hammer.
The dwarf gives him a little bit of love because he's very thankful that he's been rescued.
Heart container. Okay, thank you guys.
And Walter's actually just ignoring the hammer pegs right now. We're going to take the purple chest to the locksmith. Roach with the lamp is going up to do Uncle? The other person, Grandpa. He gets left behind in the middle of in the Death Mountain ascent. And here's Walter go to the shovel spot, and interesting to see whether he'll actually leave the purple chest behind immediately, or just no. I think he's going to take the purple chest home anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave it behind because we are still looking for a bow and the flute.
Yeah. If you thought of it as like, well, there's go mode, then maybe you leave it behind, but at this point, we still are looking for our important items. We still need the flute, we still need the bow. And in theory, we need... Oh no, there we have a blue cane, we don't need the cape anymore.
Yep, we have the invulnerability required.
So he gets a big 20 for his trouble of taking the purple chest to its final destination. That hurts a little bit. And here we see Elmas has navigated his way halfway through Turtle Rock, and he's going to check the Mimic Cave right now. Again, we are still looking for the bow and the flute. They're important items, and he gets a bottle with some red goo in it.
Nice. Mikan getting the bomb jump.
That one is a slightly difficult one to set up, I believe, but once you get it, and it just feels good. You just walk out and you're on top of the mountain again. You don't have to waste time climbing the mountain again. So still no bomb boss for Mikan, so Tower of Hera is the call. It could still be the right option, because, you know, still haven't ruled out that pedestal yet.
No. Roach going in too.
And there's the hint in the lobby.
Yep, the Fire Rod Lock in Misery Mire. But there is still one more in Hera.
I've had a piece of heart in the basement, but there's a small key, so we're going to see more of the basement as we have to find the big key in the basement if we want to climb the rest of the tower.
Yep.
It looks like Mikan's going to skip that one and head over to the Turtle Rock site, whilst Roach is going to have a coffee break.
We do have a question in chat. Do people ever race without trackers, or are the trackers just for us? The runners themselves, the trackers that you see on the screen are for you guys. We have an independent tracking system. The runners themselves can choose to use tracking, and a lot of runners do. Either like if we're watching their stream specifically, so their viewers can see what's going on, so they're aware, but some do not. But the ones that you see on screen right now are controlled by our wonderful trackers, Redimir and Michael K. The runners themselves cannot see these trackers. So the runners have the onus on themselves to make sure they're tracking their stuff properly.
Yeah, sometimes they may decide to not use independent tracking because there is now, with version 30, there is on the main screen an inventory of what you've collected. But it's mostly for clarity purposes and for figuring out in their own minds and reminding them what they actually have. Most people will opt for their own tracker. Whilst we're talking on the subject of trackers, we get some hype and love in the chat for our wonderful trackers. Without them, we would be completely lost, and they just make us look good. So, yeah. Big shout out to our trackers.
Game. We got the best clue there. The Tower of Hera big key requires fire. In Tower of Hera.
Sure does.
Considering we have to get that, considering we have to do that to get to that hint.
Yeah, Roach taking the double fall there, trying to get the bomb jump to get across to the big chest, and missing the bomb jump causes you to fall down 2 floors. That's all the way back down to the lobby of the tower, so it's upsetting when that happens. It does waste a little bit of time climbing back up the tower, getting back up to that spot. And in the meantime, Elements are completing Tridex in a very quick time. I actually missed that fight. I saw him start it, but
yeah, he's very proficient.
And that was with hammer strats as well. Or you'd think it would be with hammer strats.
See, that's why I said only a little bit, because I know that it's like these guys are skilled, and I know Elminster is one of the skilled ones.
Yeah. White Sword is very difficult to go to Trinex because I think you have to Spin Slash to deal any damage. And with a Master Sword or Spin Slash, that's what, 10 hits per neck? So Hammer Strats?
I think something like that, yeah. Hammer Strats are faster.
Much faster, so yeah, that was a very quick fight. He also picks up an extra bottle on the laser bridge. It only contains a B though. It could be a B top though, so it could be really good for helping take out Mothula.
Pyramid Fairy is in logic for Elminster.
That is true.
We have the 5 and 6 crystal.
And it could be worth it, because 2 checks plus whatever the fairy has, you get a free refill whenever you throw the bottle into the lake, so...
Yep, if you choose to do so. And more importantly, there's 2 chests. We are still missing 2 items.
Yeah, everyone's found the silver arrows, but we still haven't found the item which allows us to throw them at enemies, so... Yeah, that bow is kind of required. Just a tiny bit.
Tiny bit.
But also, we still need that flute, and the flute is going to be big. That's the only way into Misery Mire area. Unless you then go to talk about inverted, which is a completely different kettle of fish, and I have no reason to discuss it at that point.
Inverted will break your brain. That's all we will say.
Yeah.
You have to take everything you know about Rando and just throw it out.
Yeah, forget everything you've learned. Yeah. The Weird Al song, everything you know is wrong.
Yes.
You see, Mikan is going for the Spike Cave. Elmis is making his way to the Mothula Arena. The Wall of Spikes.
Walter doing the Dark Room in Turtle Rock. He got a little turned around here. Nope, he's not hitting the right turn.
The thing is, you can see where the fire sticks are, and you can see where you are when you're on the floating pad created by the Caden Samaria, but everything else in the room is dark, and seeing as this tile set is like a complete maze, it still amazes me, excuse the pun, that people are able to do this. It is a really difficult room to get lost in.
Yeah, if your timing is off, you will go in a complete circle.
And you're technically on a time limit as well, because every time you go past those fire sticks, if you're on the wrong cycle, you will get hit by them. That's guaranteed 1 heart of damage every time. In theory, if you get lost and you never find your way to an exit point, you will die there. Elements are making short work of Mothula. Walter now with the key, he's headed to the Trinex fight, and again, both red crystals, the 5 and the 6 crystal, that unlocks the front of the pyramid. So, who knows, we might see that check soon. Oh,
here we go.
Get your pedestals ready.
Okay. Oh, you juked this out for a second.
He's debating us. Okay, here we go.
Ah, rupee horde.
There's 100
Rip.
or 300 rupees. There's only money today. Rip.
However, Desert
So-
Palace still has not been delved into at all.
No.
And we still have Sahasrara himself that could have the item.
So you think about all these fetch quest items. We've done the mushroom, we've done the shovel, we've done the bottle, but we haven't done desert, so we haven't got the green. And we've just checked pedestal, so that's dead. But we still have the big bomb in logic as well. So
yeah, we've done the mushroom, we've done the fake powder glitch, so we don't need the powder. So yeah, we just have Pyramid Fairy and Green Pendant.
yeah. Mikon is now climbing up the inside of Tower of Hera. Roach is making his way through the Death Mountain stuff, so Spike Cave for him. Walter finishing off Turtle Rock. Trinex fight was exceptional. All these runners making very quick work of these bosses. And, Elmas has found Hammer Pegs has a sword upgrade. So now we know at least where 3 of the swords are.
Yep, we've actually had that knowledge for a while. Walther has his tempered.
Ooh, that surprises me. suddenly
right.
sword. You look away from one person for a minute, and then suddenly, I have 3 swords now. Look at me, I've got 3 bitcoins as well. And okay, here's the bomb check that we were looking for.
All right. So again, guys, I did recheck my hint system. We are still missing the Misery Mire hint, the Desert Palace hint, and there is a hint at Aghanim Tower. However, I don't see that one being used.
No, it's gone past that point of necessity to kill Aghanim 1. We have the gloves, we have the hammer, we have the moon pearl, and most importantly, we don't need to do the cave at the back of Lumberjack. So that kind of rules out Aghanim for anything, really.
Yeah. Luckily, the tile is pretty. I think it's like on the 4th floor of the tower, which is still a time sink. So really
it's
good.
a long way up the tower, and when you're at this point where you know he's definitely not required, and there's a good chance you will find the item before you need to go up there to check the hints. Yeah, it kind of becomes
flute and butter.
Well, there we are then.
So we have a bow mode this time.
Yet again, it all falls down to the bow to ruin everyone's day. So
the good news is that we know it can't be in Ganon's Tower. That's about the only good news.
Would we like to still lay bets on Palace of Darkness? Because no one's been to there at all.
Yeah, no one has been in Pod yet. That is like the unique thing. I can see Elminster going to Pod after this, I think.
Yeah. If it isn't in Desert, by this point, you're completing things which are out of the way.
Oh.
So.
Oh, Meyer just opened up too. Bo could be in there too.
Oh god. Oh no.
Oh, there we go. There's our hint. The hook shot is in Paradox Cave. We've already gotten that one though.
Yep. Thank you for that. Yeah. Being useful, game. You're doing a good job.
Oh, wait a minute. Misery Mire has a unique item. However, that could be the powder, could be the cape, could be the single arrow, could also be the bow. I think it could also be an armor upgrade, I believe.
That could be.
So Meyer is on the list of, hey, we need to go there.
I have a feeling if Elminster does this area, he still hasn't found the flute yet, but if he completes this, Lamola's gives him green pendant. He's still, I don't know if he's B2 Eastern, I can't remember, but then it's still in the same area. Handed the green pendant, go to Pod. And then you take your chances there. You still haven't found the flute, so maybe you find the flute at pod. Obviously, we know that's not the case. It's behind the orange bomb location at the pyramids, but it's still that same area of the world. So why not dip into Palace of Darkness at the same time as doing all of these other quests?
Yep. And Walther unleashing the duck.
Yep, first time we had our flute activation, so raise whatever emotes you chat, get some hype, because the goose is about to be on the loose. Roach opting for the hammer strat to take on Argus. It seems to actually be working quite well. There you go, full kill. So that's swap down and a book. Meanwhile, Elminster is headed into the back. He's fighting off against Lambola's one in Desert Palace. He's going for that. Oh, Walters goes straight for Maya. Doesn't really matter which he requires to open it, because we've got all three. He's not even going to check it. He's just going to go into the shed.
Yep. He knows he can open it, so he's just going to see if he can find the bow. If he can find the bow, he's in go mode. Technically needing the lamp, but I think he can do the dark rooms.
Yeah, when you're that confident that you can do all the dark rooms without the lamp just fades into insignificance.
And it was a double Bombos seed today.
Yeah. Bombos, the MVP of the medallion world.
Alright, so we have a unique item and the big key being locked on the left side.
So what are you thinking? Deep down, heart of hearts, what do you think that unique item is going to be?
Honestly, I think it's the single arrow. I honestly think that.
I mean, I hope deep down, I'm thinking powder. And I mean, most people have picked up the mushroom and done the fake powder glitch just to find the powder. It's a useful item. It give you fairies out of anti-fairies and bunny beams, but...
That's true, that could also be the thing. But I'm also a big troll, so...
Yeah. I mean, just throw them through a loop one more time and remind them, hey, buddy, you still haven't been to pod yet. You know it's available, right? Just go to pod, right?
Yeah, I know. It's like, who is going to be the first one to go in there?
It's just that evil voice sitting on your left shoulder and saying, hey, by the way, you've missed this area. You know you've missed it, right? You should go there, right? And then it's obviously you go there and you clear pod and it's like, well, that was a waste of my time. I got this lousy crystal, that's it.
Yep. And, unfortunately, the powder is not going to be in Mire. Mikan's got it.
Well, that's a disappointment. You've ruined again, game. No, it's fine. The powder is really useful item anyway. Just occasionally using it. It makes things a lot easier. And then finding it right next to magic bat as well. I mean, we know that it's not going to result in much. But, well, not much at all. That was a single rupee. I didn't realise it was that. Wow, okay. I'd have my magic back rather than that single rupee, let's be honest. Okay, Walter is now getting to the hint suggested item location.
There it is!
Wow, so...
That is the bow. So he knows where the big key is at this point.
I believe that puts us in go mode, because...
It puts him in dark go mode.
Yes. Still hasn't found the lamp, which everyone else has found, but if he's that confident he could do the dark room in this dungeon without needing the lamp...
Walter? Some bombs require a green pendant, so green pendant on Saha. Oh wait, some bombs required by green... Oh wait, required by green pendant. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I had to reread that.
Yeah, you can read that sentence two different ways. It's, yeah. Anyway, we have our go mode. As soon as he doesn't even need the lamp. If he's this confident, he can go through the dark room without the lamp. That is a go mode, and as soon as he finishes all these crystal dungeons, he will be headed up to the tower and taking on the giant pig himself.
Yep, and he's going, so that tells me he's confident. The only dark room of measure in this is going to be basically the entirety of the downstairs.
Yeah.
And then we have, depending on where that big key is in pod, if it's in the dark maze, that's going to be the hard one, but I don't think it's going to be in the dark maze.
That one is going to be interesting as well, because I have a feeling that's not as difficult as the Turtle Rock Maze or the Misery Mire 3 rooms. I completed it the other day and I was really proud of myself, and then I went into the basements before the bow set of rooms and it was like, oh, here's a lamp. Yeah, good job, me. But it's not that difficult compared to the others. You could easily get lost in that circuit of the Turtle Rock Maze. So Walter is using the blue cane to give himself some vision of where he could possibly be in the room. And it looks like he's sorting himself up. He's just going to move the... Yeah, and he gets the crystal switch. And now he's heading into the room on the left. This one is going to be the interesting one. He has to bomb down part of the wall. And then hit a switch in the next room. The bomb has landed.
There we go. Switch is hit.
And all he needs to do now is get past these anti-fairies, and the room on the left is lit, and he has navigated himself through the dark room in Misery Mire. That was very well executed. The other runners will not have that issue. They all have the lamp, so they won't have to do those rooms in the dark, but that is exceptional work by Walter to be able to do those rooms without needing the lamp. And silver arrows being activated with the bow just before this fight makes it really very quick as well. 9 eyeballs in front of Vitreous, and then just 2 for him. The boss goes down very easily.
And 13 heart blue mail. I'm very comfortable with that.
That would be a very comfortable run for the rest of the game.
Elminster is in go mode.
Yep, having just found the bow, he's waiting for the room transition to end. He's going to pick up his big key, and he's going to be hot on the heels of Walter.
Alright, so... Elminster only has Pod and Eastern to do. Walther still has a go mode Ice Palace to do. So I would give the slight edge to Elminster at this point. Just very slightly, though. So it's going to probably come down to Ganon's Tower.
Yes, we have seen this happen before, where you have 2 runners who are very close to each other, slowly edging each other, and even swapping positions in the race up the tower. Moldorm 2 is the big gatekeeper. If he knocks you down that pit, you've lost yourself at least a minute's worth of time, and he can play ping pong. He has no objections to hitting more than one player at a time down into the pit room.
And there's also the fact of where is the pod big key. That is the only other item we do not know.
Almus is going to have a slightly easier time, as we've mentioned. With the lamp, he can just quickly get through all of these dark rooms, so there is that small advantage there. But Walter, he's diving into ice, and he's going to be able to quickly navigate that as well. Not having to search for items in ice means that you can successfully pull off the bomb jump and skip like all the dungeon.
Yeah, I can see him grabbing one chest, maybe the double freeze ore, possibly to find the lamp, but he probably doesn't need it.
Yeah,
he might not even look for that one.
It's the same sort of deal with Swamp. If you know you're in go mode, but there is a chest right in your path, there is no reason not to take that chest, even if you're in go mode, because it could be something which increases your quality of life, like a sword upgrade, an armor upgrade, magic powder. There is always something there which will increase your quality of life. Helmut's taking out Vitreous. We see Roach taking an unfortunate tumble to Moldorm in Tower of Hera. He doesn't hurt that much. The real injury is that he knocks you down a floor and resets the fight. That's the real injury. Mikan is making his way through Desert Palace, so it looks like he's headed for that green pendant. Elminster, he's on the way to Pod, so we're finally getting to see what's inside Palace or not. We'll figure out where the big key is. That could be an interesting matter. Where is that big key going to be? Roach finishing off Moldor, getting the red pendant. And we see Walter just approaching the boss room. He's going to be taking on Cold Stare in Ice Palace. Opting not to use the Bombos medallion, using the fact that the Fire Rod and half magic combined, you only need to use half of your magic meter. Gets a quick kill on one of the versions of Cold Stare, and the other two quickly follow as well. So very decent fight. Picks up the small key and the crystal.
All right, so it looks like we're just a little bit of overworld away. Now, where is this big key? Oh, Pod was bow locked. That's what ended up happening. Okay.
Magic powder in the first chest. You need a small key, otherwise you must go down the bow side of the dungeon. So even if anyone had visited this earlier, they wouldn't have been able to progress that far.
Yeah, so it was me. So Mikan, that's where they found it. I was like, 'cause they had powder. It's like, where was it? I did not even catch that.
No.
So now the question: where's the big key?
Walter is playing a little bit of catch up. He's also going to Palace of Darkness, having made short work of Cold Stare. Both of these have Eastern Palace to do as well, so it is the correct option. Go to Palace of Darkness and completing that quickly, and then just using the mirror to go outside Eastern and complete that immediately afterwards. So both of these runners are going to be heading up Ganon's Tower at roughly the same time, so it's going to be a very quick pace battle to climb the tower.
There it is. It's on the bridge. So that's literally fall in the pit, go back through. So this is that's pretty much a God Go mode pod.
Yeah, no need to head to the back of the dungeon, no need to bother with any of the extra rooms like where the vanilla big key is. That one you have to bomb through a floor and then use a small key and then climb some stairs and then jump back down a pit. None of that nonsense. We just go down the bow side and immediately pick up the big key, and then we can rush straight to the back and take on Helmasaur King.
We had a question in chat. What was in Swamp? The Swamp had the shovel, which led to Bombos. Swamp also had the book, which was but it also had the mitts.
And a sword upgrade.
And a sword. And silvers.
That was actually a pretty loaded Swamp when you think about it.
Wow. Yeah, 5 of the 6. Oh, wow. 5 of the 6 items are actually good. That's chalked us up to a good seed.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Maybe I should cast more, because that's happened to me both times I've casted so far. The Swamp has just been loaded. Really badly loaded. So Walter's now going to head down. He's going to find his big key, and he's going to be rushing to the back, where Elminster is already fighting Helmasaur King. Fight in progress. Making short work with the hammer strat. Tempered Sword versus Gold Sword, though, there's not going to be that much difference.
No, not in this fight.
No, sword strategy instead of silver arrow, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference. We are probably going to see these two runners head up the tower in pretty quick succession. It's going to be interesting and exciting, that race, to see who's going to finish the tower quickest.
So we had a question in chat. Where was the blue mail that everyone found but Elminster? Elminster only has green mail and a tempered sword because he never visited Sahasrara. His closet had a sword upgrade and a mail upgrade.
And so far, we haven't found another armor upgrade. So at the most, well, Elmis already has maxed out his sword, but we still have no idea where the other armor upgrade is. So at most, at the moment, he's going up to Ganon's Tower with green armor. 14 hearts, but it's still, that's still dangerous.
It's dangerous, but at the same time, it's also what most no-age or glitch runners for the regular game would be accustomed to. So.
That is true.
So this is actually a normal layout at this point.
Walter having a little bit of trouble with the turtle room in the dark, but takes them all out, and he's about to face his Helmasaur King. Elmister is ignoring all, having found the big key. He's now just going straight to the back. He's going all the way for Armos Knights.
Yeah, so he's good. He's like, I don't need armor.
Mikan and Roach now both navigating their way through Turtle Rock as well. Roach is in the second half, and he's going down into the depths. Mikan using the mirror to not waste any more magic, go back to the entrance. He's now going to head through to Chain Chomp Room.
Alright. So
Walter,
we have approximately an Eastern Palace difference between the two runners for first and second on our stream.
Yep. Walter finishing off Helmasaur King, and Elminster in the penultimate room, and now he's just entered, and he's going to be facing off against Armos Knights. This should be a really quick fight. Silver arrows making short work of all of those. The big 300 is the prize. But the real prize there, the 7th crystal, we have a tower climb about to happen.
Yep. While this is not an official tournament match, we will still have we can do an impromptu big key guessing game. We just cannot use the official bot for this, but there are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower. Where do you think the big key is going to be? Put your guess in chat. If you get it right, you have our love and affection.
And bragging rights.
And bragging rights, yes. Where do you think it's going to be?
Well, for people who have visited my chat, they all know that they love my number. My number is the number 12. Partly because it's my name, but also partly because if you follow the standard logical route, that will actually put you in the middle of Randomizer Room. So it's a special and lucky number for me.
Nice. I'm kind of like that too. My favorite's actually lucky number 13.
It's definitely lucky for some.
Mm-hmm.
Mikan is making his way through the maze room. He's headed to the second half. Roach having a bit of problem. He's actually taking a death save here at the emergency exit just to get his health back up in time for the fight against Trinex.
Smart play.
Walter, meanwhile, headed into the back of Eastern Palace. Elmister just outside Turtle Rock, so reminder, get your guesses in as quickly as possible because soon we're going to find out where that key is.
Yep. And here we go. This could come down to right versus left, possibly. We don't know. Could be execution. We will find out. Coming up first, the Hope Room.
Big money.
And a small key.
Wrong sized. So now we're headed over to the left-hand side of Ganon's basement, and what's on the torch?
The Arrow of Destiny! That's a good spot for that, actually.
Yep, the most valuable arrow in the whole world. But we're not going to take that one, so Bob gets to live today. We might actually say hi to him if we have to go that far in the dungeon. And now we're in Dark Magician Room. Bombs, arrows, more arrows, and a small key.
And at 7, is Elminster doing DM strat? He is! He's doing Dark Magician strat.
First he goes to his room, and then he does his strategy. Wow. Shout out. Yeah, so with this strategy, you take the first 2 on the right, then you take the next 4 on the left, and then you come back over to the right side. Optionally, you could do the tile room, but most people will skip that. We'll just come through and go through to compass room. 4 lamps that need to be lit here to open the door, and then another room, and then there are 4 chests. Normally, that's where you would find the compass in Ganon's Tower. But again, 4 chests, so big value. Most people won't take this dungeon path in the normal route, so see how this pays off.
Cape.
There's a cape, and 20 rupees, a heart container, and a heart.
Hey, that's 11.
So the right side didn't necessarily pay off here, but from this point, you can continue along the right side.
You're going full right.
Yeah, full right side takes you next to the path where Bob lives, and it's just above the pit where Almost 2 happens, or as I like to call that fight, Disney on Ice.
And Walther going into Ganon's Tower.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what strategy he's taking. He is opting to go left side first, ignoring Hope Room and going straight over to Dark Magician Room. If he goes a full left side, because of these routes wildly diverging, we could see Walter overtake here by finding the big key first. Hi, Bob.
Chest number 12.
So here we go, Armos Knights 2, or Disney on Ice. Again, silver arrows. We've had, 20 arrows found in this dungeon already, so again, shouldn't take a long time to get rid of these. Vanilla location is...
It's vanilla!
Wow! And an armor upgrade! And a shield upgrade!
There it is, okay.
So elements are finding... by that reckoning, 2, 6, 10...
That was 13! Hey!
Well, we have a winner. Well done. Walter is doing the same strategy. He's skipping the Hope Room, but he's going straight down the right side and doing Compass Room. If he sticks and does the right side completely and goes straight to Armos 2, Vanilla Chest, he'll be on a similar path, and then it's just simply execution, climbing the tower, taking on Agadim 2, and then how quickly they could get through the Ganon fight at the pyramid. So this is getting to be an exciting race now towards the end. So Elminster is now headed up into Gauntlet. It's a set of 5 rooms designed to test yourself against certain enemies, and that was the first room. The second room, we've got 2 blue skeletons, and then room 3, 3 blue Zazaks. Awful enemies. They do their own thing. Look, see? They're difficult. 4th room, red Zazaks plus ice. Again, same problem as the previous room. They can be difficult. Oh yeah, and BMOS everywhere as well. And
very quick.
Room 5 was very clean indeed. That is the room which tends to have most difficulties because it's fully iced, no conveyors, and the BMOS and the statue which fires fireballs, they can ping pong you across the room if you're not careful. And a very clean Lambo 2 as well. It's a very good climb so far. Walter just coming up to his Disney on Ice fight, and he will soon find the big key as well. He will have an advantage because he has, or will have, if he takes all 3 chests, the Mirror Shield and red armor as well as a Butter Sword, compared to Elminster's blue armor and Tempered Sword. So again, his Ganon fight will go slightly quicker. So all those slight nuances, they will pay off. He doesn't take any of the other chests, he just takes his key and leaves.
Yeah, he's good with what he's got.
Yeah, it is useful to have those things, but you don't care about them. So, and if you don't know where they are, you're not going to pick them up. So just having a better sword could be all that's required.
Question in chat, would full left have been faster? Actually, no. Full right going to the Armos is actually the fastest route.
That's correct. It misses out at least 4 more checks that side. There is the randomizer room, of course, and if you're playing normal, no major glitches, you don't go in that room at all, because there's nothing of value in there normally. So skipping out on all those checks, it does make it quicker going full right side than full left. But then you do have the option of, was it left side all along, in which case you have forced yourself down a road which will take you considerably longer. Elminster making quick work of Moldon too there, skipping the final chest. He's just going straight through Nightmare Room and up to the Aga 2 fight.
Alright. Let's play everyone's favorite game, Trigonometry.
Yep, here comes Geometry Wizard.
And Geometry Wizard, that's the other one.
That's
a double.
Yep. 2 on the first. Meanwhile, we have some pedestal hype in Roach's screen. He's pulling the pedestal. Not dead for everyone. Blind pedestal pull gives him 300 rupees. That
was the rupee horde.
Yeah. Oh!
Elminster having some problems. He's at 5 hits. There we go.
As Aga2 is down for Elminster, Walter has just finished his gauntlet. He's facing Glamolus too. So the question is, can Elminster finish Ganon quicker than Walter can catch up? You don't know. Anything could happen.
Yeah, you never know. Falls could happen.
Yeah, devastating things could happen. We have seen it before.
What fact are we getting today? I feel like we keep ending up here, don't you? It's like deja vu. I love that one.
Getting some good hits off already. So he's going to be quickly moving on to phase 2, which has just started. With the Tempered Sword, you only need to hit him 12 times during each of phases 1 and 2. With Walter, his fight is going to be significantly quicker. He only needs to hit him 6 times. Already we're on to phase 3, so it's a very decent phase 2 from Elminster.
Yeah. Speaking of another blind pedestal pull, Mikan has actually blind pulled.
Yeah, even though you have the book, sometimes your gut reaction is, if the pedestal is there and it has an item, it is quicker to just pull it than it is to check what the item is and come back to it later. So it's not it's not the worst thing to pull the pedestal. It's just unfortunate that it didn't have anything for them today.
Oh, did he get him? No, he didn't get him.
Swing and a miss. At least
3
2
and
arrows.
4.
Nicely hugging onto that edge and staying in the arena, able to get the double on Ganon, and that is going to be our first place finisher for the stream.
Get your GGs in chat. With that, we will go ahead and announce that Elminster officially has 3rd place with a 143.22. The winner of the entire thing is Gem with a 136.41, and then we had a 2nd place time of Lunchtime ATH with 142.32.
Congratulations to all our runners. That is a difficult seed, it seemed, so very well played to everyone. Here we have Walter with his Aga2 fight, and he gets a double off at the start. And let's see, there's another one. And it looks like a couple of misses there as well, but still making some decent progress through this fight. Oh, blue balls. Everything lags when that happens. Here we have Mika checking out his Pyramid Fairy.
Alright. Unfortunately, Elminster will not be able to join us for an interview. But GG's to him.
Yep. big props, very big. Wow, it was just a very difficult seed to navigate. So GG's to him.
And Walther's coming up.
Have Mikan activating his duck, so spam those emotes in the chat. Roach heading into Misery Mire, where hey, easy phase 1 and probably a very quick phase 2 as well. Gold Sword doing all the work. A very nice jump. You can sometimes have Ganon in phase 3 just jump all over the map and never ever stop.
Yeah,
here we
unfortunately, unfortunately, we're going to be seeing a lot of teleports because the teleport process is going to be the same for every player. So all of those teleports that we saw from Elminster are going to be happening to Walther. Walther just got the faster going into phase 3 than Elminster did, which allowed him to get that one free hit based on the teleport cycling.
Yeah. It's interesting to note what is random and what isn't, and this is one of the things which isn't random when a seed is generated. The set pattern for the first fight against Ganon is always the same, no matter who's playing the seed. And that was a very quick phase 4 as well, so very quick fight from Walter, and that's going to be GG for him very shortly.
And that, crossing the gate, official SRL time, 1:46.26.
Heh, we get some meows from the Triforce as well.
Let's see if we can pull Walther in here.
So meanwhile, whilst we're getting Walter to try and have an interview with us, Roach and Mikan are both headed into Misery Mire. Roach is now headed over to the left side, the fire lot location. He's going to find his bow and go mode.
Rage slash.
Mika's probably going to do the same thing as soon once he heads over that direction. Roach has still got mortified because as soon as he goes up here and he's going to find the Big Kit's vanilla location, and are we going to see more rage slashes? Because I have a feeling it might be. It's just seed in general.
Yep. And we've gotten another finisher, Haikyuu type, 5th place, 147.54. We will be getting Walther in. He just wanted to take a quick break, probably restroom and get a drink. I don't blame him. Oh, back there he is. Let's go ahead and grab it. Walther, GG.
Thank you, GG.
So how about that seed?
Yeah, it sure was something. I think I avoided most of the potential mishaps, luckily. But I can imagine how this seed could play out very differently, with some minor routing differences.
Yeah, as we're finding out, if you follow the logic, it punished you.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Was Lamp in Ice Palace?
Yes, it was. It was in the U room.
Yeah. I was thinking about going to Ice Palace when I got the mitts in Seoul, but I was hoping it was the lamp instead of the flute.
Yeah, we did discuss. We realised that you didn't have the lamp, and then decided to continue through Maya anyway, regardless, and just the confidence of, okay, I have the bow now. That's my go mode, and just running with it.
Yeah. I set up for the Spooky Mire, but then I realized, I don't have the lamp, so I'm not gonna try that in the dark.
Yeah, that takes a little harder in the dark.
It seemed like there were a lot of dead ends in the logic with regards to certain items, like the mushroom not really having anything of value, the powder location with the magic bat, that didn't really pay off either. The only big one was the shovel, which obviously gave Bombos for pretty quick Turtle Rock access, so relatively speaking. So how did you find that, finding Bombos?
Well, I kind of wish I did a dig spot before I went up to the mountain again, I guess. Like that and dying in Feast Town are the only two things I really feel bad about in the seed.
We did notice the death at Thieves Town, but because it was right at the end and all the other things had been found, really, leaving it at that point was probably... It seemed like it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, well, Blind ended up having the mirror, right? So I'm kind of glad that I went back as soon as I got the sword. It kind of made sense to go back to Feast Town as soon as you got the sword, because you could do Skullwoods at the same time.
Yep.
In the stream we have Roach. He's now approaching Palace of Darkness, and he has his bow. Mikan is still fighting against Vitreous as well. So, how did that feel, finding the bow inside the very end of Maya?
Well, so I didn't check too many hint tablets, but one of the ones that I did check said that there was a unique item in Maya, and like by the time I got the flute, I didn't have a lot of unique items left. So I was kind of I wasn't too surprised to see the bow.
Yeah, I think we were running down the list here in the booth, and we were like, at the time it was powder, but then Mikan found it in pod. And then we had the cape, we had the single arrow, we had the bow. So we still had a few items that were still in technical uniqueness, but
yeah,
it was likely to be the bow.
Could have been. I think the single arrow actually counts as a unique item as well.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, we were interested to see where that turned up, and it actually turned up on Bob's torch, which was hilarious. He's like, it's a unique item. That's the best place for it to be.
Yep, up there, proud on display. So that was a fun fact with everybody in the group. We actually got 14 of the 15 hints. The only hint no one checked is Aghanim's Tower. And
wait, least someone went over to the dark.
Yeah, somebody actually did that one.
Oh, was it a good hint at least?
Not really.
No.
I mean, it was a hint. It was a hint for a unique item, but unfortunately, I think every one of the unique item hints were the vague ones, so it didn't really help out.
Yeah. Unique item behind hammer, unique item behind hookshot, and then there was the one in Tower of Hera which says, the big key is locked behind fire. It was cool. Thanks for letting me know that. After already done it to get the big key to climb the tower, but
yeah, I think the only good hint that we got was the Misery Mire fire lock for the unique and the big key.
It was definitely a big hint, knowing where the big key is, but also that there was a unique item, and it turns out to be Go Mode Bow.
Definitely made Mire a lot easier, or like faster to route for sure.
Alright, I think we did find all 5 of the far location hints, if memory serves them how they've determined it. So that last hint in Aghanim's Tower could be anything. But fun fact, we did not get a garbage hint, actually. By that I mean we didn't get the completely useless hint. Like, power is said to be in the arrow or something like that. We got garbage hints, yes, obviously.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a Zelda game without some garbage hints in there.
Right.
So now we have Roach and Mikan both headed to the same area of the game, actually. They've both caught up and they're sort of echoing each other right now. It's very close to what they're doing.
Yeah, one room away, actually, from each other. So this is going to be a close race to the end here for third and fourth on the restream. So Walter, at what point did you think that you were that you had the logic cracked?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I thought I was gonna get bow in Tutrock because I get bow so often in Tutrock, so I just wanted to beeline for Tutrock as soon as I could. Ended up I got the flute, I guess. By beating Tutrock, which led to the bow, so it was kind of correct, I guess. But I was just basically hoping that for the flute to be for the lamp to be the way up to the mountain instead of the other way around. Otherwise, it could have been quite a bad thing if the flute was available for everyone else early.
Yep. All right, with the completion of Pod, real quick, guys, we have a 3.5 second difference between Roach and Mikan right now.
How worried were you that this was going to be a pedestal seed? Because we had, for the longest time, we thought we still haven't found the flute or the bow. This could be something dangerous on the pedestal.
Yeah. As soon as I realized the big key was in the basement in Hera, I just decided that this is not going to be a pedestal seed.
Interesting. How did you come to that conclusion, if I may ask?
No, I didn't know. I just hoped that it wasn't going to be a pedestal seed. Okay, I decided not to do Hera.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just played your hunch. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that is some bizarre logic, and I would really like to hear about this.
Oh, didn't you know that? If the big key is in the basement of Hera, it can't be a pedestal seat.
No, that's news to me.
I'll have to remember that.
Can we quote you on that?
Sure. My name is Elminster.
Yeah, it turned out it was 300 rupees, and I think both Roach and Mikan both pulled the pedestal and blindly and found that one out. But did say at that point, if you've done so many of the pendant dungeons and you're in the right area, having just completed Skull Woods, there is no reason not to pull the pedestal other than time loss. But it just, we weren't sure for the longest time. We were missing 2 important items. We couldn't find them, and so we decided it could be the pedestal. I mean, it's all available, so it just didn't happen. Sorry, chat.
Yep. And so, remember what we were saying earlier about how leads can change very quickly? Mikan is now in the lead, barely.
This is going to be an interesting one. They've sort of just passed each other, gave themselves a high five as they overtook, and now Mika's about a handful of seconds ahead. Everything to play for, because again, we know where the big key is, but which way are they going to go through the tower? Are they going to take the left side, or are they going to go full right side?
Yeah, I think I know Roach's playstyle a little bit. He's not going to go full right. I've never seen him go full right.
Yeah, it does seem like it's a gamble. I mean, even going right side, just the shallow side, go to the compass room, and then mirroring after that, that's still considered a huge gamble. So going full right side, ignoring left side completely, and then going into the Disney on Ice fight is just, yeah. It'll be interesting to see our runners, what they're going to do at this point.
Yeah, this looks to be a close race. I'm gonna jump out and let you commentate this super close finish. But thanks for commentating and for the trackers as well.
Yeah, no, thanks for the good race, man. Played very
thank
well.
you for running.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and good luck to you in the future. And if you're in the qualifiers, good luck.
Thanks.
So we have a little bit of a quick dash now. Roach having some aggression with that Lionel.
Why is he doing that?
Sometimes you just need to take it out on the enemies. They get in your way. It's like, no, I'm going to make an example of you. You got in my way. You die now. And they both
I
reach
guess
the
that's
front
true.
of the tower. They both reach the top of the front of the tower anyway. So here's where we could have some fun. Mikan is going right side first for the Hope Room, but where's he going after that?
Well, he does get a key. My preference is like when I do this, I would go right, but I don't go to Armos. So this seed would have hindered me.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
I'm not certain about going right side. I'm sort of set in my. So I do go for the Hope Room, but depending on what I get, I do go left most times than not.
Yeah. If I end with 0 or 2 keys, I end up going left. If I get 1 key, I go right, and that's just the way I do it.
Yeah.
Roach getting the arrow.
Mikan is going to Compass Room, so we'll just have to wait and see now after these 4 items. There's the cape. There's nothing else really in this room. Heart container, piece of heart. And out comes the mirror.
That means they're gonna be opening that chest very late.
Yeah. Gets the small key from that passageway, then mirrors out and it's going to go down left side.
Okay.
Roach is already finding.
Could theoretically be in the lead. It's going to be dependent on where he goes from here. Alright, Roach is going to be taking a slight lead.
Yeah, vanilla routing. What's considered vanilla anyway for randomizer. We get to check some extra locations we haven't been able to see yet. So here's the fire stick room. It's 3 bombs. It doesn't really help, but not with the upgrades. You don't have those in version 30 unless you pay for them.
You don't need more than 10 bombs or 30 arrows anyway.
I mean, I appreciated the bomb upgrades more than the arrow upgrades, but...
True.
I could see not needing more than those. And piece of heart after the hookshot room. And now we go to randomizer room. Ooh, my favorite.
So as a heads up, guys, at this point in time, we still have 10 runners left in this race.
There's the compass, piece of heart, the map, and another piece of heart, which is a full heal for Roach, actually. That takes up to 17 heart containers.
That's good.
Nice and healthy. Mikan's going to do the same room as well. I'm actually going to see whether he gets an extra heart container. That would take him to 18, which is incredibly healthy.
Does not.
Not quite. 17 is extremely healthy anyway, with blue armor. Bob is dead in Roach's version, having taken the arrow. Again, everyone found silver arrows very quickly, so this fight should not take long at all. Roach is going to find his vanilla big key. Hi, Bob. And there's a red armor upgrade and the mirror shield. So that's everything. A couple of some fury slashes there.
And there he goes.
Mikan again with the same play, silver arrows, because why not? They're free. I'm not playing retro. Big key and mirror. Doesn't take the extra armor or shield. It is personal preference at that point whether to take the extra chests or not. So.
Yep.
So it's all down to execution again. Climbing the tower. Who's going to get there to the top first?
Yep. Let's just see who has the better technique. They are both evenly geared in offense.
And Roach has started his gauntlet. First room, here's the
Very
goobers you're
nice.
going to be fighting. Second room, 3 red skeletons. They're awful because they jump a lot. Not too bad. Third room, 3 blue Zazaks plus BMOS and Conveyor. They're awful because they move around like this and... Yep,
Nice.
there we go. Fourth room, ice physics, because everyone loves ice physics in every game that's ever been made in the history of the world. And then fifth room...
Hey, the Iceman Sage in Mega Man was good.
That's not a bad fifth room, actually. See how well Mikan copes with this room as well. Oh, nice. And the Zazak running away from him.
One room apart.
It's not bad. It's the room that I normally call at the end of the gauntlet, the what the heck even is this? Because the skeleton goes one way, the Zazak goes another, you get damage boosted by the BMOS when you don't want to be. That room is horrible.
Mikan has taken the lead. Just barely, though.
Walter's being entertaining and giving us an arrow game while this is happening. Fantastic. So, yep, very nice rooms here. We have had an overtake as well. Mikan has just pulled ahead slightly by just a room. This race is neck and neck now. There is only one room in it at the moment, so it all depends on how well they could complete the next 3 bosses. They have Moldorm 2, they have Aghanim 2, and then they have Ganon. So there is potential for upset here. Here's Mikan. He goes into the Moldorm fight. Gets the hookshot ready, and that's a clean kill. And a clean kill from Roach as well. Moldorm is not putting anyone in the pit today.
Roach, quit joking around. I know you can't hover. And he fell! Oh no!
Can we have some Fs in the chat? That's heartbreaking.
Oh my goodness.
Because the problem with that is having killed Moldorm, if you fall in the pit, he respawns. He doesn't care that you've killed him once. You have to kill him again. Same with any boss. If you fall after killing Ganon and you don't enter the Triforce room, you have to fight Ganon again. From scratch. He gets better. Yeah, so Mikan now with the Geometry Wizard, he's having a bit of a rough time there, getting hit by... oh god, Aghanim, stop sitting on him! Okay, never put Mikan in the corner. Okay, that fight is done. So now we're just seeing Roach is getting the same pattern, or no, different. But how many hits? Come on. That's 3.
That's 3.
Mikan is now
This is
on
going
his
to be
way
a blue
the
ball.
pyramid.
Ah!
The problem with this is sometimes they don't cycle at the same times anymore. They lose that pattern. You have balls flying across the stage at all sorts of various times. Like, he's on 5 right now. He needs one more hit. A blue and a death. There
Okay.
goes Agate 2.
Mekon with 2. Never mind. Shit, they have potions. Never mind.
Never mind. I think they have at least a blue and a red at this point.
Yeah, they do have a blue potion.
That seems like it's a pretty quick phase 2 as well. These all have the gold sword, so sword advantage is not going to play into this fight. This is the long jump. Ganon is going to hover away for quite a long time, but now he's going to settle and gets another slash in. Roach has to catch up. He still has to go through phases 1 and 2. Mekon almost at phase 4, the final phase. Equally matched in terms of offensive. Silver arrows, gold sword, half magic with the fire rod. Mekon missing the torch glitch. It shouldn't be significant, but barring any upset. And there we go. That's the final arrow. Pig down, and Mekon is going to enter the Triforce room. Meanwhile, Roach is struggling with the jumping pattern in phase 3 that everyone has had so far. And there's Mekon. There's the Triforce. So GG's to him. Our 3rd place finisher on the stream.
Yeah, 3rd place and 14th place overall with a 2:11.09.
Roach gets his torch glitch and is still... There we go. Couple of silver arrows to the pig, and we'll see how quickly this can go. Oh. Fires the arrow and gets the shot. He's... That should be an easy double. And there it is. Ganon is down. Couple of angry slashes before the T-pose.
GG, Mekon.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I don't think it's possible to have been any worse or wrong than I was during that race.
No, I disagree. You followed the logic.
I think... No.
Unfortunately,
You're
following the logic
dumb
wasn't
and
the
wrong.
good thing to do.
You're wrong and
Hello.
and stupid and no, I did awful.
Okay, hold on. Before we start, Roach, what did we learn?
Pedestal sucks.
No, more
No, the other
recent.
one.
Read clues.
No, a little earlier. It just happened a few minutes ago.
Lag.
Don't play act like you can hover and fall.
Yeah, it's Model 3. You had to fight him twice, right?
Oh, is that how that works?
In your case, it'd be 3 times. You already killed him once at Tower of Hera. As did Mekon.
And the
Guys.
only reason I did that was for the viewers. It's like, I'm already going to Ether Tablet. Let's just do a Prime Pedestal. It's the last pendant I need.
Yeah, that sucked. We were discussing, at that point, no bow, no flute. Where could this be? And...
Well, at least you did it on accident, or on purpose, rather. Some of us did it on accident.
We were pointing to pedestal, and it was we read the front of the pedestal, 300 rupees, and that's not good.
I don't think I've ever had a 5/6 crystal in Turtle Rock lead to something in the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, that. And also, I've never had Force Double Dip Pendant Swamp.
But it wasn't though. If I had gone up to Death Mountain to get the hook shot there, that would have been completely different for me. I feel like the entire thing would have been very different. Because you could have gotten the hook shot in East Death Mountain if you had just done that
I was
correctly.
forced to double dip it, which sucks.
Just the fact that Swamp ended up being so loaded anyway, with how many different things? Sword, golden gloves, silver
5
arrows.
of the 6 items were required.
That's just insanity. The number
Yeah.
of items that were required there.
Well, I shouldn't say they were required. One of them was of quality. Two of them were quality of life, but still, geez.
Which
5
ones?
items. A silvers
The book?
and a sword upgrade.
Oh, okay.
So me
Well, the
kind
book
Yeah,
was in
and the
there
book.
too.
Well, the book was actually required to get it. No, it wasn't because there
No,
was
it
nothing in
wasn't.
desert.
The book
So never mind.
was the book of BS.
So me
At the time, the book was needed because we had no clue. But
Yes.
Yeah.
ultimately, it didn't end up being nothing.
How'd you like the other 2 chests with the big key and Ganon's tower?
Yeah. So we decided we'll have a look at the other 3. Benefit of the doubt. People went to right side, then they went to Dark Magician room, and then they did a full right side. Go through Disney on Ice. Oh look, vanilla big key. Oh look, sword upgrade. Oh look, armor upgrade.
Hey, it was
sorry,
armor and shield upgrade.
armor and shield. So it's like, yeah, that one was interesting. It's a vanilla location though. That's painful anyway on the best day, but then just okay, better sword. Oh, better shield, better armor. Yeah, okay.
It was so easy to be correct in that seed, but I just didn't.
Oh yeah, I 100% in 100% overworld. Every dungeon except pod, I had every item out of.
Yeah, there did seem to be a lot of logical dead ends there. There are definitely places where it just didn't go anywhere in the end.
All I can say is thank God I got the bad race out of the way, so I can have a good qualifier later tonight.
Yep, good luck with the qualifiers.
Yeah. So, fun fact with the hint system, I do want to try to ask this of people. How do you guys enjoy the hint system?
I personally like it, except some are, I mean, too really vague, but I can understand why they have it. They don't want to be like, hey, here's something. It's like, all right, this requires bombs. It's like, cool, that's like 10 locations.
Yeah, that's kind of an unfortunate side effect, but at the same time, it's kind of good.
It is, because it can help you, if it's like your go mode item, it helps you narrow it down quite a bit.
Yep. Unfortunately, with seeing 14 of the 15 clues in this seed alone, there are some bad hints. Like I still think the best one we got was that the Tower of Hera big key is locked by fire in the Tower of Hera. That you had to have the big key to access that hint.
And Tower Hera ended up being a complete waste of time. All of it together was 2 heart pieces.
And then by the time you guys found some of the other hints, you already had those items. So it's like
the actual best hint, which I did not go towards, which I should have pushed a little harder, was the Firelock side of Misery Mire is a big key and a unique item.
Yep. That was the hint that unlocked the seed, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Misery Mire hint turns out to be like the single most useful hint that we found. I don't think anything else was actually that useful.
Well, technically speaking, I would still say knowing that a shield upgrade was in Ganon's tower kind of gives you a little bit of a hint, because then it tells you that you definitely are going to find the cape or the Burna before Laser Bridge. That's all it tells you, but then it does tell you that. And with a key being on Laser Bridge, there you go.
Yeah, it was still the biggest hint of the whole thing, knowing that something useful was there at Misery Mire. Yeah, it just seemed like the seed was just terrible in general.
I just love how there was only 11 locations total I didn't physically touch or look at. That's right side of Ganon's tower, the 2 up the climb, and the 4 items I didn't get in pod.
Wow. And to still finish with a 212 is not bad.
Yeah, the times are pretty good still, despite the sea being well, throwing everyone through a loop, really. So.
Anyway, thank you for commentating for us. Thank you whoever tracked and restreamed, but I'm going to go make myself lunch now.
Yeah, definitely.
With your tears as the salt seasoning?
Of course.
That was a good comment you made in there, so. But well done, everybody. Any last words with the seed?
I don't think I have anything more to add to this, I'll be honest. We saw a lot of nice things happen early on, and then we did wonder what is going to, why is this game being so nice to us? And well, there we go. Blind pedestal into 300 rupees. That what happened.
Yep. And do please be sure to follow our runners. They put on this show so you guys can have something to watch. And I do want to thank again Red Amir and Michael K, our trackers. Great job tonight, guys. And I also would like to thank my co-commentator, 12th Doc. Thanks for being here in the booth with me.
Thank you.
And with that, Speed Gaming does have a few things going on. Let's pull the schedule up real fast. All right, looks like over on Speed Gaming 2, there is currently going on a Portal tournament. And then over on Speed Gaming, the original, we're going to have Portal again at 5:30 Eastern. Then we got Ori Randomizer, Zelda 1 Randomizer, Sonic 2 Adventure Battle, DKC All Stages. But the next rando that we're going to be seeing tonight is going to be on Speed Gaming 1 at 9:15. Is the qualifier. This is the second match of the 15 qualifiers. We won't know who all's in there. I can definitely tell you I'm going to be in there. We potentially might be getting a second restream on that, but that will be over on the ALTTP network of channels. But we will definitely have a Speed Gaming presence on the original channel at that time. And do be warned for people who are going into that event is actually on a 20-minute delay. That's why they're starting the stream at 9:15. The race will already have been started at that point. But with that, I've been Duke, and I'll catch you guys next rando.